Hey guys, gals in YouTube land, and hopefully soon to be Oydsee land and LBRY land at the same time. Real easy. I'm putting this video out today. I recently had the founder of LBRY TV, and it's kind of sort of having a rebranding under another platform called Oydsee, ODYSEE .com on my podcast today. And I've been using the platforms for about 2 months now, and I've been very pleased with them. And there's a chance here that somebody in your audience, if you're a creator, said, hey, listen to this guy Jack Spirko about this thing for 5 minutes of your time and learn something and maybe protect your channel and all your life's work. So I want to start out with why you should get on Oydsee, and then by doing so you'll also be on LBRY, which is LBRY.TV. And you'll reach a bunch of new listeners and all kinds of cool stuff like that. But starting out with, it's completely free. It's completely free, and I'd like to put the value proposition this way. If somebody just said to you, you weren't even going to have access to people this way, it was just a backup just in case, I will take every YouTube video that you have up to this point, and I will put it on a redundant backup server for you. And then every video that you publish from now on, within a few hours at the most, after you publish that new video, it will go into your backup archive, and you'll have backups of every piece of content you've ever created. How much would you pay a person to do that? Or how much do you think they would charge you to do that? Well, I can tell you this. If you'll spend about 5 minutes to set up an account over at Oydsee, and you do a little bit of back-end work in your YouTube channel, and it's not that hard, even I can do it, I'm not that technical. If you are a regular YouTube creator, what you're gonna have to do will take you 5 to 10 minutes, and then over a couple days, all that content that's sitting on your YouTube channel will get backed up to your new accounts, and it'll be there. And it doesn't cost any money. And it will be on what's called a blockchain. And if you don't know what that is, you don't need to know, other than that means that it will be completely and totally protected. It will never go away, and you will always have access to it. You can download it, republish it if something ever happens to your YouTube channel, and don't think nothing can. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But it's easy and seamless. So you get all your content in another place, redundancy and backed up for free, and once you fill out a couple forms, you don't ever have to do anything again. And all the work that you put in over on YouTube to publishing those videos with all that high production value, all your notes, all your titles, all that stuff, every single time you publish, it'll just get sucked over there. It's completely seamless and it's very easy. So why wouldn't you do it? I mean, really, we'll get on to not trusting YouTube, Google in a second, but anything can go wrong. Anything can break. Anything can be mistaken. And not having backups is not a good idea. And having a redundancy platform that's seamless and easy like that alone is enough of a reason. You'll get on 2 platforms. That's another reason. So LBRY TV, LBRY.TV, was the initial platform that LBRY Inc. came out with. And they actually have an underlying platform that for this video we don't really need to go into, but anybody can build anything on top of the platform. And so they built the platform, and then they built LBRY.TV on top of that platform. And as you can imagine, that starts to create like a branding conflict where people aren't really clear on the difference between the two. So they've recently come out with a site called Oydsee, which basically takes all that content, makes it available both at LBRY TV, on the LBRY app, and on Oydsee through a browser as well. And that let them do some really cool stuff. I'll put a link to the interview with the founder of LBRY in the notes below, so you can listen to all of this stuff if you want to. But what's really cool is on Oydsee, they're adding all the features that YouTube has, like likes and interaction and stuff that was hard to do on the decentralized platform. And so it's still using decentralization which means your content's protected and can't be taken away from you. It's still using the content from there, but it's putting it into a new window is the way to look at it. You know, it's framing. Oydsee is really a frame where you get all these things. Live streaming is coming. They're going to have something analogous to what YouTube does for creators, where you can monetize your channel, what have you, through memberships. But I bet there's going to be some cooler ways to do that. I'm going to be continuing to give Jeremy feedback. He's very open. He listens to his users. That's another reason to be on there. How about the people that actually run the platform will talk to you and listen to you? Like, that's a good reason to be on there. But you can reach new people. I mean, think about it. You guys work your ass off every day. You put out all this juicy, wonderful content. You put all this effort into it. And the entire purpose is to do what? To grow your audience. One way you can grow your audience is by going to a completely new platform where people are that you're not reaching. Because the way things are going to work over at Oydsee is when I subscribe to something, I'm going to see all the content. A lot of your your viewers do not see your content just because they subscribe to you. You know, that's why you're always telling them to hit that alert button, that mail alert button, because you know it. So reach new people, and actually always reach the people, at least the ones that use the platform, that subscribe to you. Next, you can get paid. I know you get paid on YouTube. I get paid on YouTube. It's nice. I mean, I don't have channels as big as some of y'all, but I get $500, $600, $800 a month in extra money. I like it. And I'm not making that much on LBRY yet, but I have a fraction of an audience there that I do on YouTube. But it's growing rapidly, and I make money on every video I put out, and I get paid in cryptocurrency. And that's a cool thing too, and it's something you want to be part of. It is our future. It really is, cryptocurrency and a decentralized monetary system where different platforms use different currencies. And I know for some of y'all, that's like, I don't want to deal with that crap. Bitcoin's a scam or what. It's not. And the thing is, if you don't care, it doesn't matter. It'll happen anyway. All you have to do is start publishing your content there and build an audience there. And they'll give you some of it for free just for signing up and for doing, like, watching some videos and making comments and stuff like that. So that's something that's available right now. They call it Creator Rewards. Is it going to be there forever? Jeremy said they can't guarantee it will be there forever, but it's there now. So you go over there, you start getting some cryptocurrency, and if that name is kind of weird for you, think of it like Amazon Coin, you know, where you have credits on Amazon, or think of it like Xbox credits or something like that. So it just so happens that you can then exchange those for other cryptocurrency or dollars. And you can build content that's for sale. My notes fell. I usually don't use notes, but this one's important, and I don't want to miss anything. So you can build content like a whole group of content, like a course or something, and you can charge for just that content, leave all the rest of your content free. How cool is that? You can charge by the video, or you can charge by groups of videos or what have you, and you get paid in that cryptocurrency, which is really cool. And it's all free. And if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You just get all your stuff backed up. You see where I'm going there. Next, I said this already, but it's so important to understand that your content cannot be taken down. When something goes on a blockchain, right? You don't have to geek out on that or anything. But when something goes on a blockchain, it's there forever. You can't get rid of it. The people that run Oydsee and LBRY, when you put your content on that blockchain, they can't. If they want to take it down, they can't take it down. That means that content will always be there, and you will always have access to it, and it can never go away. And I'm gonna tell you something. I know some of y'all have channels, like some of the guys I listen to, you got like really cool fishing channels and all, you're totally non-political. Some of you have puppies and kittens and gardening and stuff like that. You never get political, you never get religious. So you think that these channels that have been demonetized or taken down do not apply to you. Once they delete a channel, it's gone, and they could delete you by mistake because human beings make that decision. That's just one example. But there are people who have lost their channels or been demonetized because of something they said somewhere else that wasn't even related to their YouTube channel. That's happening now. I want you to understand something about companies. Companies are a lot like people. If you know somebody that's a miserable butthole in their 20s, they're going to be even more miserable in their 40s and even more miserable in their 60s if they make it that far. People become more of what they are over time. Corporations are kind of like people, and they do the same thing. There are plenty of things that no one would have ever thought anybody would have gotten a video taken down for, or a channel banned or demonetized for 5 years ago on YouTube that's happening today. If you would have told somebody 5 years ago this would happen, they would be like, no way. But today it's happening, and people are like, well, yeah, it's happening, but it doesn't affect me yet. You have no idea, so it's just a great idea to have that backup. And again, it's free, and it'll only take you, in the time you've been listening to this video, you could be done with it already. Just get on over to Oydsee and get it set up. Next. First mover advantage. Imagine if you could go back to when there was like 10,000 people on YouTube and start building your channel then. Oydsee is exploding. Since Jeremy has taken the company in that direction and created kind of a new paint for the front end of the site. And again, you're on both of them just by setting it up forever. But with Oydsee growing the way that it is and new creators coming in every day, there's only a window that's so wide of when you can get into a platform like that and have that first mover advantage. Now I want to be clear, there's no guarantee that Oydsee will become the next YouTube, or even a quarter of YouTube, or even 10% of YouTube. But if you had that first mover advantage on a site that was 10% of YouTube, wouldn't you want it? Especially if you had to do so little to have it. Set up an account, link it to your YouTube account, and rock on with life, and then decide how much effort you want to put into it. And if you don't do anything for the next year, all your content's sitting there waiting for you. And if something ever happens to your YouTube channel, all your content's sitting there waiting for you. By the way, the LBC cryptocurrency coin, it's trading for about 2 cents a coin right now. That means people are pretty generous with how many they give you to a video. I get videos where people tip me 20, 30 of them, just one person. And it's really cool. What if that stuff ever goes up to $1? You know, it can just sit there until you want to do something with it. I'm just pointing it out. You got that first mover advantage. How about podcasting? I'm a podcaster. I'm not really a YouTuber. I put content on YouTube because I want an outlet and I want an additional funnel to bring people to my podcast. That's really what it's all about. All my real efforts toward monetization with sponsors and relationships and private memberships, they all actually revolve around my podcast called thesurvivalpodcast.com. But, you know, when I get done with a podcast that's in an MP3 file, and for years I've thought, you know what I should do? I should just take an image that's like a placeholder image, just some kind of a picture, throw it in my editing, and then render out a video. And once I render that video out, then upload that to YouTube and use that content twice. I am a full-time podcaster, guys. I work a lot. I mean, people always say they want to be full-time podcasters. They think it's like having the old 80s commercials where you work in your underwear from your table for 2 hours a day. Running a professionally produced podcast 5 days a week that runs an hour to 2 hours a day, depending on the guest or what I'm talking about or what have you, it's real work. And adding that one more thing is just something I didn't ever have the time to do. Well, when I had Jeremy on, he explained to me that I could just upload my MP3s right to Oydsee and LBRY, pick a picture, and done. And it would be an audio file available on that blockchain, letting me reuse that content. So if you're also a podcaster, but you don't publish your podcast to YouTube because you don't want the extra step of work, all you have to do is copy and paste your notes in your title, select a file, select upload, and walk away. So I can add another minute of work to my day. That's not a problem. Adding, another 10 minutes of editing to even just slap a video like that together, plus the time my computer is going to sit there tied up rendering out a video file, I really don't feel like doing that. Even when it's just a simple video that's just rendering out as an MPEG because it started out as an MP3, it still takes considerable time to render out an hour to 2 hours of video. That ties up my resource, that works my computer. I can just throw my podcast on LBRY and they're there. And yet more people I can reach more people. And I'm getting tipped in that cryptocurrency on those podcasts because people like it. See, people are loyal to these platforms because they believe in what they're doing, which is reestablishing free speech on the internet. So you get people to be fanatically loyal to you just because you're supporting something that they support. And again, back to the beginning, fill out a form and it's seamless and easy. Last, just don't trust Google. I don't care if your podcast is about puppy kittens. I don't care if your channel is called the Puppy Kitten Channel. Do not trust Google. Guys, I go back to the dawn of the internet. I was building websites and doing what's called search engine optimization when the site that everybody was trying to list themselves highly on was Alta Vista and Yahoo. Long before Google became internet god. And I watched everything come up through there. And I watched Google time and time again. When they started out, they had do no evil on their site. Eventually, they took it away because they know they're evil. That's why would you take that away? Why would you take that away? If you made a cornerstone of your corporation, do no evil, to one day just take that away quietly. You know, what I've watched Google do, I watched when the blogging craze was going and there was a good platform where mommy bloggers, single moms were getting a few bucks a day out of their blog and finally having some extra money to pay some bills. I watched Google destroy the value of those blogs because they didn't like the way things were going. That's just one example. I've seen Google time and time again renege on their promises. I used to make a lot of money on something called AdSense. I still make a few bucks on it. That's how you guys are monetizing your YouTube videos. But they just cut the payouts. They just screwed us over back in the day when we were doing all the politics. Do not trust Google. Never trust anybody. Never trust anybody that comes out with a statement so noble as to do no evil and then just quietly takes it away. Don't trust them. I didn't say stop using them. I'm going to keep uploading my content to YouTube. And again, back to seamless and easy. I'm going to get done with this video. I'm going to upload it with my app on my phone that I filmed it on, right to YouTube. You're going to see it there. And a couple hours later, it's going to be on LBRY TV, and it's going to be on Oydsee.com. And I'm going to get paid on YouTube, and I'm going to get paid on LBRY, and I'm going to get paid on Oydsee. how many times are you going to get paid for your content? And what are you going to do if Google does what they've done so often in the past and you end up in the crosshairs? Don't say it can't happen. Don't believe it. David Crosby once quipped, the famous folk singer from Crosby, Stills, Nash, Young, that guy. It can't happen to me are the famous last words of people it's about to happen to. Don't trust Google. Get on these other platforms. Make more money. Back up your content and let it all be seamless and easy. With that, I'll catch you with another video later this week.